Welcome to Transform Perspective with Kyra Weathersby. Now, I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to lie to you. It has been a rough start, okay? I really enjoy how I am doing things differently and how I am not only just going to be on YouTube but on Spotify, but learning how to do things a little bit differently and trying to grow and upgrade things has been a hassle. It's been a hassle. It has been freaking irritating. But I made it to another episode, so gotta give myself a pat on the back for that. If you haven't checked out episode 1, it is on YouTube and Spotify, and it's called, the title is Maybe You're Meant, Not You're Meant. Maybe It's Meant to Be Felt, Not Fixed. And that is up, like I said, on Spotify and YouTube if you want to watch it on video. Comment, let me know what you think about it. It is the first episode. I am doing something different. And I would love to hear your feedback, what you liked about it, what you would do differently, or what you want to hear and see from me and my content. Transform Perspective has been around for, let me do the calculations. It has been around for a little bit over a year, probably close to 2 years. So this is not new for me, but the setup and the way that I'm going about it now is new, is a little bit different from how I usually do it. So I have content all the way, like I said, over a year. That content is still up. So if you want to check it out, or if you resonate with it and you come across it, definitely watch it. Leave comments on those videos as well and let me know what you think. I really appreciate it. The love and support. And yeah, I just want to add that in there. And it will be on Tuesdays. I know this first episode was not posted on a Tuesday, but I'm working on that. We're getting things together and it's going to run smoothly from here on out. So yeah, a lesson and something that I've been coming across over and over within myself, in my head, and in my life is the lesson of you don't have to make other people wrong in order for you to be right. That's been something significant in my life that I did not recognize at all up until recently, and it's been reoccurring. And that's usually how things are. You kind of are in this cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over. And as you become aware of it, you see it for what it is, and then changes will happen. It's not that you always have to force it, to happen or to make it go away. It kind of just happens through you. And so this has been happening with, the thing that I just said. You don't have to make other people wrong in order for you to be right. That is so true for me. And it may not be true for you. And everybody has different truths and different perspectives, ways of going about life, ways of seeing the world and themselves. They have different religions, belief systems, when it comes to politics, when it comes to your health and wealth. I mean, the list goes on, and this can apply to any area of your life. In my life, I've seen it apply to pretty much anything you can think of, where there's this kind of this, egoic pattern that comes up and wants to point a finger or wants to prove itself to other people to make itself feel better or feel good and say you're wrong and I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a little kid, like a little bully that kind of comes up and is very judgmental to other people, including itself. And so I've seen that in a lot of different ways, and it made me question, does that have to be the case? Do you have to make other people right in order for, not right. Do you have to make other people wrong in order for you to be right? And it can be the opposite way. Do you have to make other people right in order for you to be wrong? Making it seem like everyone else has it together. Everyone else is right. Everyone knows what they're doing, and you're wrong. You can kind of do it any type of way. Either way, it's very egoic, and it can stem from a lot of things, but that's different for all of us. And so, yeah, I've just been kind of paying more attention to that as it comes up. And I've kind of looked at, truth. What is my truth? What resonates with me? What works for me? What do I think? What do I feel? What have I experienced? And then when it comes to other people, being able to love and respect them for who they are, even though they may resonate with something that you don't. They may look at things differently. They may have a totally different religion or belief system, or, they may be a Republican and you're a Democrat, or they may be vegan and you may eat meat. This is what I'm talking about. Just these different examples of how we may go about our lives differently, how we may view the world and view ourselves, and how we may treat others. I'm learning that For me personally, as long as it's coming from pure love, you know what I'm saying? Good intentions, then I don't see the issue. It's not up to me and the ego to try to control the world and other people and how they go about life and how their journey is supposed to go, how they're supposed to learn and grow and what resonates for them. I don't know that. I can only make that call for myself. And so, I've been really, telling myself this and looking at that side of me or that pattern or that ego that says otherwise, It's huge and it feels uncomfortable, but it can really change who you are as a person, and as a result, change your life and change those around you. Learning to be more open and accepting. That does not mean you compromise your truth and your beliefs and how you feel in your experience. That just means you no longer make it your duty to tell someone else how to live their life, to tell them what they should eat, what they should wear, what they should believe, how they should go about their journey. That's for them. And you have your own way of going about it for you. And so it's kind of like boundaries. It really is. It is a boundary that some of us have and some of us don't. For me personally, I'm learning to have that boundary. And I've seen the growth. It's just something that I really wanted to talk on and bring up again because it's a practice, I see it, but I'm still practicing it. And just the realization that someone else may have a different truth than me. It can be very tricky for the ego or that part of you that comes up that gets real defensive about that. It's like, what do you mean? Like, no, they need to believe what I believe. They need to know what I know. If it's coming from a place of love, cool. But if you're trying to hurt or put somebody else down, that just don't resonate with me. It just doesn't feel right. It's not coming from a place of pure love, and we see this a lot in different teachings and stuff. And Jesus' example, of someone who was just, full of love and just led as example. And there's many other examples in different religions and different scripts of, I resonate, with Jesus. So I'm using it as an example of how he led as example. He was never forcing someone to hear what he had to say. A lot of the times people were attracted to him and, very drawn to him and what he was saying. That wasn't always the case because people hated him and people worshiped him and loved him. But regardless of that, the teachings and the message of Jesus was all from unconditional love and care. It was never him going to go force what he believed and what he felt on other people. It was like, hey, somebody's asking him or coming up to him, or he's just in the, environment. Of course, I wasn't there, but based off of the teachings and what we read, it was all love. It was all love. It was never forced. It was people seeking to know more about him, people asking him for wisdom or him sharing it, but from a place of love. It was never, oh, I don't like you or I'm not going to help you because you are living like this. That was never the case, It was always accepting other people for who they are and, leading as example in the way that works best for you. Not forcing anyone else to believe what you believe, not making them wrong and you right, not criticizing or judging, just flowing from love. And I know as a humanity and for all of us as individuals, that may take time and we're on our own journeys. Not everybody is going to resonate with this or is called to do this within themselves. But for me, I definitely felt like a tug and pull to kind of keep re-looking at that whole statement of you don't have to make other people wrong in order for you to be right. Looking at, okay, what is this inside of me that keeps feeling the need to be right? Like sometimes even if you're wrong, it's just like you're trying to prove yourself for what? Especially when it comes to how you view your life and how you go about things, If that's true for you, if that resonates for you, then it really ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, Like that's good for you. You don't have to step over the line and, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to attack other people, hurt other people, or judge them because they're not doing it how you're doing it. If you're doing it how you're doing it and it works for you, then hey, that's it. Then that's what it is right then and there. There's nothing else that needs to happen after that where you're like, oh, I need to go out and make other people, feel how I feel or look at the world how I look at it or, go about things, Now, when it comes to people hurting people and doing evil things and stuff like that, Now, I'm not saying just sit back and let those things happen, or, there's a difference. As far as that, when we're looking at like right and wrong and what you should and shouldn't do, if you're hurting other people, or doing things from an ill intention, then we all know that what goes around comes around. You give what you put out, you reap what you sow. There's a cause and effect. This statement and the meaning behind that, and the law behind that, it goes with everything. It goes with science, it goes with religion, it goes with spirituality, it goes with astrology, it goes with anything you can think of. You get what you put out, you reap what you sow. There's a cause and effect. So if you are causing harm to other people, you know what I'm saying, or negativity or whatever, it comes back. Same thing goes for something positive. If you're sharing just love and positivity and going about things from just a good heart and a good intent, you get that back as well. It doesn't always apply to something negative. It applies just to anything and everything in general. And that's something that I've learned and kind of come back to, is all of those sayings. Treat others how you want to be treated, the golden rule. That was my favorite rule in school. It helped me socialize and really think about how I interact with other people, and thinking before I speak and making sure that I am not just coming from this place of ill will, or, because we can get upset, we can get in our emotions, things happen. I'm not saying that you have to beat yourself up about it if you have done some of these things and did things that weren't from good intention. I'm just saying that when it comes to right and wrong, we're all going to have different views on that. And if you do have the same view as someone, that's great. But if you don't, that can be cool too. It's not really our job to try to forcefully control other people's experience in their journey. You can just respect them where they are, love them for who they are, or, just mind your business. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm learning. And it's been huge. And that's a great way to protect your peace and where you are. We can also do this mentally. You may not be speaking and talking to someone or interacting with them when it comes to right and wrong and what you believe, but mentally how you think and judge and look at other people. Really being able to step back and analyze that. That's been something that I've been doing more often, and just allowing it to be there, not beating myself up because I see these patterns and ego pop up, but just observing it and kind of asking those questions, those deeper questions as to, okay, well, why is this coming up for me? Why do I feel that way? Why am I looking at it this way? And really digging deeper by asking those questions. But overall, as long as it's coming from love, pure love, does it really matter how other people see things versus how you see it? What they think and what they believe. If it's not causing harm, then it is what it is. Dang, I can't get more words now. But it is what it is, and that's kind of the realization that I'm coming to. And it's so much more peaceful just to love and accept other people. Now, I'm not saying that you can't share these things about yourself. If you have a certain thing that you believe or a certain way that you go about life, share that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it can be helpful for other people. But if nobody's asking you to and you're forcing it, then you're pushing boundaries. And you wouldn't like that if it was the other way around, I'm sure. For anybody, it's uncomfortable. And if there's something that you feel like you're right about, you want other people to hear, maybe it's for them to realize it in their own way, and in their own time. It's not our place to force and push. And I've really been checking myself on that, or checking the ego, checking the pattern, because it's not my place. If it's coming from love, if it's coming from wisdom and experience that I want to share, that maybe people are asking about, cool. Or if I just want to state it, cool. But it's not up to me to make those other people respond in the way that I want them to, or get where I'm coming from, or resonate with what I'm saying. It's not my place, And you can really just be in a place of so much more contentment and peace and just love when you allow it to be what it is. Now, like I said, if it's a negative thing or something dangerous, step in, help. But if it's nothing like an emergency, then it doesn't call for your nose to be buttoned in and you telling other people what they should do and how they should live. That's exactly, what I've been telling myself. Not telling you, you don't. But for me personally, I've had to really dive deep and look at these things because it is huge. It seems so simple. Like I said, we learn the golden rule in school for most of us. We learn these teachings that are passed down, and the intention of most of them is love, but they can get twisted along the way, and we can lose sight of the origin being love, the origin being acceptance and forgiveness. That doesn't mean let people run all over you, but if it's just a matter of opinion and belief, then we're only looking at thought. We're only looking at the mind. We're only looking at ego and how we think things should be, or how we think people should act, or how we think people should view the world. That's an opinion. That's a thought, and it's okay to have those and express them. But when it comes to pointing the finger and making other people wrong, it ain't really necessary. And it's really going to tug at your peace and your well-being because it's crossing that boundary. You know what I'm saying? You're not staying in your lane. And so that's something I've really been practicing, staying in my own lane. If it's not helping, if it's not from love, then there's no need to step out of that lane to direct other people. You can direct and guide other people just by being you and doing so from love and leading as example. There's a big difference between telling other people what they should do, how they should do it, whether internally in your mind or externally, and just living your life the way that resonates with you and your truth and leading as example. And then those people that need your guidance and your help will flock to you. You'll be magnetic to those people who you can change your lives, who want to hear what you have to say, who resonate with your truth. But if it ain't that, I'm learning to just let it be what it is and practice that open-mindedness, open-heartedness, and gratitude, and just live in the way that works best for you. Because what works best for you may not work good for everybody else, That may just be for you and your journey and how you should eat and how you should dress and how you should talk and how you should interact. And, that's your journey. We all have our own journeys and our own truths and way of going about things. And the journey is now. It's no future moment or, it's here and now. And we're learning constantly in the here and now. So, yeah. It sounds like I'm just telling whoever's listening to do this and do this. No, but really this everything that I'm saying is what I tell myself, but in a loving and kind way. It doesn't have to be, dang, I shouldn't have said this or I shouldn't have judged them. It's a part of growing. It's a part of learning. And as you recognize it, you just see it for what it is, and it kind of changes through you. It kind of just happens. You don't have to beat yourself up about it or force yourself to stop doing it. It'll dissolve as you see it. Because like I said before, your awareness of it is the light. And that awareness grows in its own way differently for each one of us. For everyone in this world, we're all having our own experience, but we're doing it together on the same planet. So it's pretty cool, but complex and different. So yeah, that is all for this episode. I hope that this resonated with you. If not, that is totally fine. But I just want to share that because as I'm learning this, other people may benefit from it. So yeah, leave a comment below if there's anything that stood out to you. If you want to share your experience with this same pattern or way of thinking and perspective and where you are now, just feel free to comment anything. Follow the Spotify, I don't know if it's called a page, but follow Transform Perspective on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, and I hope you have an amazing day. And remember that even if these patterns pop up, it's okay. You're learning, you're growing, but you can also just step back, be aware of it, ask those questions, and just allow yourself to evolve. Allow your perspective to transform. My words today is something else. But yeah, that is all. Before I go, remember that it is not about perfection, but committing to expansion. We're not here to try to be this idealistic perfect, but just to be ourselves and grow and learn what that even means. So yeah, remember to have a transformed perspective.